Hello, hello, hello. All right, we are going to do these training videos, so I hope this is helpful to you right now. If you're watching this in real time, or when I posted it, it is July. It's a brand new Mary Kay year, and so it's always great. I think we're halfway through the fiscal year or the calendar year, excuse me. And so it's always really great to, I think, kind of check yourself on your organization, or if you haven't started, then you got 6 months to you know get caught up on, but it's never too late to start. So even if it's October or something, or suddenly watching this, it's okay. Then you're getting ready for the new year and practicing. It's all good. If you're a brand new consultant, then start from the top and you're good to go. So I just want to give you a few things. When I make a sale, if I'm face-to-face with someone, it's easy. I'm going to have them fill out a profile sheet. Okay. You all should know what a profile sheet is. If you were during, obviously COVID, if you did an e-start, you didn't get profile sheets. So you need to make sure to order those, I think, and sales slips. Okay. Sales slips. If I get an internet sale, someone I've never met, something like that, I'm going to fill this out for them. And obviously this. So this is pretty basic. If I'm filling it out for someone, obviously you can ask them all the questions if you want, if that's important to you. But I make sure to put this as their name, last name, hostess. Don't worry about that unless someone referred them to you. That would be the hostess, because that would be the person you can remember who referred them. The date, their birthday, occupation, wedding anniversary, their address, email, phone number. Obviously you don't have to ask them all those things. It's just nice to have those things if you want them, but I make sure to at least get their address down, their phone number, their email, and their name on their profile sheet. And then when I get an email, website order, over the phone order, you need to make sure that you have a sales slip for each order. Running a business, you have to have a paper trail. You have to show that you're actually in business. You can't just take a bunch of money and then at the end of the year, the government's going to say, okay, what did you do? And you're like, I don't know, but it was fun. So, you have to make sure you have a paper trail. And now that we're doing so much online, for me, it's a little bit more thought process, because if I'm sitting across from someone, it's easy to fill out a sales slip. But if I get an email order and I just process the card online, even send it to her, I'm done. I have to make sure to fill out a sales slip. So I'm just going to take a few minutes on filling out a sales slip and what to do with it. I know this is basics for some of you, but hopefully it's helpful. I'm going to share the screen on a sales slip, because everything, if I show you in the thing, it's backwards. Okay, so this is a sales slip. And I have one here. Oh, I'll show you this in a minute. Okay, so real basic. At the top of the sales slip, this is like a whole packet. I found this in. Okay, at the top of the sales slip, it keeps going back. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can see this. It says name, address, city, all that. I only fill that top out if I don't have a profile sheet on her yet. If I have a profile sheet, and this is your business, if you want to fill that out every time and that's helpful to you, then go for it. But because I have a profile sheet on her, I have her address, I have her, all those things. I don't fill out this whole top part. I put her name, I put the date with the year. That's very, very important. I've done everything wrong and backwards, so I always like to try to teach you to do it the right way. But my first year or so, I thought, oh, I'll remember the year. Of course I will. Well, 2 years later, you're like, what year was that? When did she order this? And so I always make sure to put the date with the year, and that's it. I just put her name and the date. Obviously, you can put her credit card number in here. This is how I keep track of credit card numbers. I'll show you that in a minute. You can save them online. It's just not how I started, and so it's not what I do, but you can save them online through your ProPay, and that is up to you. No one comes in my office, no one. My kids may use the printer. It'll print from their computer. It'll print. My printer's right behind me down here, and they come in and get it, but no one comes in here but me. So I feel safe having my customers' credit card numbers in here. Okay, you're going to put down what they purchased. For me, I can show you sales slip in a minute. I only, like, I don't put one if they only order one of something. But you totally can. And I don't write price if the price is the same. So like, for example, this one says 3 mineral eyeshadows, which this is obviously old. We don't have mineral eyeshadows anymore, but, and they were $8. So, and then I put that, but I wouldn't put the 95 here. Totally up to you. I'll show you one of my sales slips in a minute, even though it's going to all be backwards. The thing I want to show you is you calculate this up, get the subtotal, and then you're going to get the tax right here on the subtotal. Not on the discounted amount. So, oops, that's not the tax. So here's the tax line right here. So you're going to get the subtotal, and then you're going to take the tax. And then in that little line right there, I write discount, if you're given discounts, obviously. And I write minus whatever. So for example, this one says minus $10. Then I'm going to take the subtotal minus the discount plus the tax, and that's the total, and that's what I charge her. The signature and consultant number, I have never done that. I did it a few times when I first started. You totally can. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I have never taken the time to do that. So that's totally up to you. So I want to show you here, and I want to make sure to cover up because I've got the credit. I'll show you this though. So see how this person like had 3 lip glosses and 2, what is that, eye makeup removers. And then she had 1, I didn't put 111, and I only put the amounts. Okay, so, and then I took and I wrote discount right there. Okay, so that's just how I do it. And then if you, I don't want to show you this. Anyway, it's her name and the date. That's the only thing I put. What I'm covering up with my hand here is I write processed, I put online transaction number because this was processed online. She ordered online, and I put the date of when I processed the credit card. That has come in very handy because I will look through, and a lot of times, this has always been an online customer. I've actually never even met her. I will write their credit card number every single time. That's just for me because I've had many customers where they're like, yeah, charge my card. And I'm like, well, where's her card number? If you save credit card numbers online, that's fine. I don't do that just because it's just something I don't in my own personal business. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I always have the updated card number, and it's just easy for me to find. I'll show you what I do with that in a second. Anyway, when it says processed right here, I know it's been processed. Obviously, if you're using your online, it will show processed or not processed. But if someone texts you and says, hey, I need my stuff, can you charge my card? And you're like, sure. And then you're like, did I charge that card? And if you've never done that, then you're way more special than I am, because I've been like, did I charge that card or not? Or sometimes I'll look and I'll go, oh shoot, I haven't charged your card yet. You know, hopefully it's not weeks and weeks. Hopefully it's just a couple of days, but you just want to make sure and keep track of things. But it's a nice way to, I have the transaction number here. I have I write processed. I don't know why. And then the date, you don't have to write that. And that's what I do for that. So now I'm going to use these blank ones just to protect customer information. I've got a profile sheet for a customer, and I've got a sales slip. I make sure all of her information gets into my customer. I think that's hugely important to get your customer's information into my customer. One thing I will say is if you're just dumping them all into my customer, I only put people in there that purchase product from me. I don't put people in there that want to purchase product or were maybe I met with and didn't buy anything. But I only put them in there. And then I would send them a link to, or add them to my Facebook group, or send them a link to add to my Facebook group. And I used to, well, no, I don't actually, let's skip that. I would send them an email from Mary Kay in Touch. That's the new, if you send them an email from the Mary Kay in Touch, just, you know, great to meet you, blah, 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 then they can opt in, and then you can send them emails through Mary Kay in Touch, which is way easier. Drawing a blank, hold on. Okay, so we've got the profile sheet. Oh, make sure she's in. I just want you to make sure that if you're dumping a bunch into Mary Kay in Touch, eventually, like me, you can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So you want to make sure that you're putting them in a group or putting them into PCP. PCP is a preferred customer program. So if you look on Mary Kay in Touch and you see preferred customer program, we actually have a sign up coming July 17th. So by July 17th, anyone you sign up to be in your PCP, if she's in your customers, it doesn't mean she's in PCP. You go to PCP and you click on the customers you want. Once you click on them, it'll keep that running total, if you will. So in the future, you can just go back to Quick Enroll and you'll see all the ones you've already sent things to in the past. And there actually were customer reports that you can see, oh, in the fall, I sent all these people a catalog, and these, you know, in the spring, in the winter. So you can have those reports, which are really great. I print those out, and those are who I, you know, would contact and let them know they just got a catalog in the mail. So PCP is the company sending the customers a catalog, and it usually comes with a sample and a note from you. And they do it for cheaper than you could ever even just send them a catalog for. And they do all the work. So it's really great that they are going to get a catalog. So for example, this is July 17th will be the sign up, and then they'll get it towards mid to end August. So every 4 to 5 times a year, there's the catalog. And then in between, there's other things that you can send them. They're usually like postcards and whatnot if you want to keep in front of your customers. I know now that we have e-catalogs and that kind of thing, but I really think people still love to get a catalog. They still love to get that paper catalog in the mail. They get bills and they get junk mail, and they're like, oh, a catalog. And then they get to flip through. I see great value in that. And I see that people still order a lot from a catalog. My sales always go up every time the catalogs come in, and even if I don't do anything to follow up, just because people are getting them and they're excited to look through it and order their stuff. So that's my 2 cents on the paper catalogs, getting them to people. During this COVID, if you haven't had that experience, we didn't have paper catalogs because the catalog company couldn't print them, but that's just life right now. Okay, I just want to show you, this is super messy. You can totally log all your customers online. You can use the My Customer app. You can put all the sales, everything that they purchased in the My Customer app. You can get reports and that kind of thing. That's awesome. How I do the paperwork, I'm just going to show you because I like the paper log. It's easy for me. And I think it's important to have that paper, you know, even if you're going to a store today, they're still printing out receipts. They still, you know, it's just kind of the way it is when you're a business owner. So to kind of hide my customer's information here, this is a longtime customer. Okay. She's, in fact, the profile sheet is 101310. So she's been a customer for 10 years. See all the staples? Okay. And sometimes I start stapling them to but literally I just staple the receipts on the back, and our receipts used to be shorter. So there's short receipts now and long receipts with this one. If I can show you that. Anyway, you see that. So I literally just staple the receipt on the back. Let me show you this. So basically you have the front copy. You have the back copy. There's a very back copy that says customer copy. So I tear that off. I put that in her bag. There is this middle receipt that I would keep for my records. So and I'll show you that in a second. And then this top copy is what I staple on the back. So I've stapled the top copy, give the back copy to the customer in her bag, unless obviously if I've sent it to her, you know, Mary Kay shipping, then there's no, I have 2 copies, which is not a big deal. So I keep either the 2 if there's Mary Kay shipping, or the 1 copy. And I literally just put them in, if it's not total chronological order, it doesn't really matter, but I literally just put them in like a little file box, like you can even get like a box or a drawer or a file folder or whatever. And each year I just rubber band them together and put them in my tax stuff, because if you ever get audited, you need to have a copy of your sales receipts. And so it's just a simple way to prove that you had those sales and show it. So I just take that copy and just put them in, and then that's that. So that's really, it's just logging them into Mary Kay InTouch. Obviously, if they've ordered online, they're already logged in, which is great. Making sure there's a profile sheet and a sales slip for each of them. Then you can kind of keep them together. When I paperclip them, I put a paperclip on them, a paperclip right here. That means that they are, this is not a pretty paperclip, but that means it's in the process. I maybe haven't charged a credit card, which I usually do that right away, but, or I haven't. And if you have the little swiper, that's easier. I just have always done it online. So again, you get to run your business how you want. Obviously, if it's online, it's easy to get that transaction number or whatnot. But if you have a little swiper, there's probably a transaction number as well. I paperclip it, so I need to put her in the computer. I need to maybe send her that quick email, put her in Facebook, and then log her on the business tracking register, which I'll show that in a minute. If none of that's done, I keep the paperclip on it. Sometimes I'll put a little sticky note on it if I've done most of it and I got lazy and didn't want to do the rest, or, you know, ran out of time. But when I staple it, like my customer one here I showed you, then she's done. And it gets easier. If it's a reorder, it's easy because she's already in the computer. She's already in my Facebook. She's already in my email. So all I have to do is log her sales real quick. If she's a new customer, you know, you got that little bit longer process. So that's what I do with that. And then this book. Oh, I haven't showed this to you yet. Have I? Okay, no, I haven't showed this to you yet. Okay, look at that. That's crazy, huh? Probably too much information, but I've had this same book since I started the company, believe it or not. And I used to think that was crazy when I would see these older directors and they like, I can tell you every sale I've ever done. I'm like, how would you do that? I'm like, oh wait, I do that. So basically, I'm going to show you a business tracking register. Let me show this to you. We're going to minimize this. Hopefully you guys can see this. And I just have it on my paint, but I just figured, here, let's even increase that a little bit. Okay, that's really big. Okay. So this is a business tracking register. So I literally have 1, 2, 3, whatever, however many sales you have in a month, but at least one of these each month. So I literally, like if I look through this, this says there's 2010, there's 2004. I started in 2003, so they're probably back there. I'm just flipping. 2011, 2015. So every month I put in a new thing so I can show you. It's kind of hard to show. I'm so sorry. It's kind of hard to like hold this up. So I am a little behind. I've only logged 2 sales. I've logged January, February, March, April, and I've only logged 2 sales from May so far. So I'm a little behind. I have my May profile sheet still to log, and then I haven't done June. But you can see, okay, there we go. So you can see that. So I just keep it in here, and then you got May, and then you got, there's April. There was 2 sheets for April. And so anyway, so I just literally put another sheet in, put another sheet in, put another sheet in. And I'm sorry, it's hard for me to hold that up. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This is what the sheet looks like. I'll post it with this. So here's how we use this. So I write in, so it's June right now. It's, I'll say, you know, June 2020, or you can July 2020, or whatever the month is, May 2020. And I don't use this as, I know this looks like a old bank sheet, but I put the date. So say, so this order was, because I haven't logged it yet, that's why it's still in my little basket here. I just put it in, I just have a little basket and I just put them in there for the month. I know they're all June. So her name is D and she ordered on 6/19. So I would write 6/19 right here. I'd write D in her last name. I'd write the sale. The sale was $167. So I'd write D, 6/19, because I obviously put June 2020 up here. So I don't, you know, I know that it's June 2020. Really important to put the year. And then I put D in her last name. I put the sale, $169. I put the sales tax, which is $12.53. I put the inventory, which is half of 167, and I'm not going to calculate that right now, but a half of 167. So that would be, actually I have a calculator right here. So 167 divided by 2 is 83.5%. And then over here, I write discount, and I know this one's short here. It's usually a little bit longer in this space, but I write discount, and I write, in fact, let me see if I can find, if I can pull one of these out. You can, I write the discount. So for example, because I was doing a buy 2, get 1 free on my lip glosses for this particular sale, she got a discount. So over here, I just write discount, and I would write minus, it's $16.08 because I minus the tax plus the lip gloss. So you can see on this one, this is December 2018, but that's just one I opened to. I like, see how I wrote discount, discount, discount. These actually haven't been filled in yet, but anyway, so that's what I do for discounts, because then at the end of the year, I can calculate all the discounts. And I have, and then you have at the bottom of the page, just at the bottom of the page, I can calculate all the total sales, or all the total sales here, the total discounts here. I'll go over the other columns in a minute. And I add up the 12 numbers for the total discounts, each month, and that as a write-off, because obviously if you're giving discounts, you're giving away your money. And so you can write that off on your taxes. And then you take the other 50% and you divide it 40% and 10%. So that would be, let's see, so it's going to be, this 10% is $16.70, and the 40% is $66.80. So anyway, so that's, now I have the 50% that I need to repurchase my product with, the tax amount that I need to repurchase my product with, the 10%, which I'm going to put aside. I recommend putting it in your savings account for your business. And then the 40% is what you pay yourself. If you're building an inventory, then you want to take some of that 40% and reinvest. But that is your choice, because that is your 40%. And like I said, I would either build the inventory or transfer it to your personal account or your savings account, or whatever you're doing with your Mary Kay money, and have your income. And then the 10% you're going to set aside for sales aids, for conferences, for whatever it is your business needs. So whenever your business needs money, for example, right now we have the seminar coming up for $40. It's the online seminar this year. So in my 10% account, which would be maybe in your savings account, there should be at least $40 in there. And I've got PCP coming up, preferred customer. Like I said, that's July 17th. And so you've got your preferred customer program money, you've got your money for seminar, you've got your money for the samples you need. And so there's always that 10% of money set aside. Sometimes it looks like, it looks like your business has like a whole lot of money. You're like, wow, there's a lot of money in there. Maybe I should just take some. You really shouldn't. Your business should really be building up that little 10% aside, because you will need it at some point. And then your business is running itself. If you have a loan that you're paying off, you may want to take part of the 40%. I recommend that. You can break it up all different ways in that. So anyway, that's taking care of your money. That's taking care of your sales. That's keeping them logged. It's keeping them organized. At the end of the year, you have all the numbers to calculate out. And so you can tell your tax person, or whatever you do, if you do your own taxes online, that you have those numbers, and you can be simple and organized, and you can find your people's things. What I do with my profile sheets, you can use a drawer, you can use a box, a shoe box, whatever it is, maybe a file folder for a while, but that might get a little big. But I just organize them in name ABC, alphabetical order, but that's up to you. The last thing I want to show you is your taxes. And if you haven't gotten organized yet this year, you can't start any sooner than today. If you're ready to get organized, if you're new, or if you're super organized, awesome. But at the end of the year, it shouldn't be hard to do your taxes. So if you're throwing all your tax receipts in a basket right now, or in a file folder, that's totally fine. But you just want to keep them organized at some point, or get them organized. What was I going to say about that? When you go to the store and say you buy cotton balls for your business, or you buy printer paper for your printer, or just whatever it is that could be a sales aid, you want to make sure when you're paying, like say you go to Walmart and you buy your, staples and printer paper, or whatever you need, pay for those separately. Get a separate receipt, and then pay for your personal stuff, because I can't imagine most of us go to the store and just buy one or the other. So So pay for that, then you have a separate receipt, then you pay for your personal stuff. That way you have that receipt and it's simple to look at the write-offs. So I have this, I pulled this out. I'm going to show you several different ways, just real quick, to organize your taxes, and then we'll be done. And this is the most like logistical stuff we have in our business. It doesn't take that much time. It maybe takes, depending on how much work you do each month, maybe a half an hour to an hour a month, maybe up to an hour and a half. It's maybe 15 minutes a week, but it is important, and it's easier to stay on top of it. So several ways to organize your taxes. You can go into Mary Kate In Touch and look at different categories that you might want to keep. Office supplies, entertainment, travel, business aids, just all kinds of things. So you need to keep track of your personal use too. I'll actually go over that real quick. You can take a manila envelope. You get 12 of them. And each month you just put in all the receipts in your manila envelope. At the end of the month, you just start writing on the front, sales aids this much, travel this much, whatever it is you've got. My PG&E is this month, my mortgage is this month, my cell phone bill is this much. So you can just calculate it out at the end of the month. You have those 12 numbers and you calculate them, and then you've got your taxes done. I used to take a binder just like this one that I was showing you, just a 3-ring binder, and I would put a piece of binder paper. I've never done anything cute. You can really have a cute one, and an envelope, and I would just 3-hole punch a large envelope that you would like put in the mail, and I just put the receipts in there. So each paper and envelope was a different category, and again, it would be hostess gifts, just office supplies, those kinds of things. This is the other thing that this is what I do now, or I've been doing. So it's just one of those accordion, it just flips open, and so you've got the tabs, and I just put the different receipts in the different tabs. Within each tab, I put a piece of binder paper. You can make a cute piece of paper, but then we take the receipts out. When I say we, I'll explain that. We take the receipts out, and because I actually haven't done this in years, but I take the receipts out and write down, the different categories. I'm drawing a blank on categories. Education and training. So seminar, that's going to be education and training. Office supplies, office help, just all kinds of stuff. Credit card processing fees, which you can actually go on and get a printed report of that once a year through ProPay. So that's really easy. So anyway, that's another way to organize your taxes if you prefer to do that. So just keeping those receipts organized versus having a pile of receipts in December and going, oh my gosh. When I say that I haven't done it in years, I literally have not done it in years. I have a binder, honestly, just like this one, where each month I write down my bills, and then when I pay them, I put a confirmation, and like my personal bills, confirmation number and the date and all that, and highlight it and all that. So each year I just have to go through the 12 months and calculate the numbers for my PG&E bill and my, I just give all that all to my tax person. But all the receipts, my kids do, and they've been doing for years and years. My one son, like literally even logging my sales slips. I see my son's handwriting here. I see my husband's handwriting in here because he's done it before. But literally, even if they can't calculate, they can write down. Like it looks like he calculated this one actually November 2015. They can write down what the sale is and what the tax amount is and what the discount is. They can write those things down. You can calculate the rest. It looks like he calculated the rest on this one. I don't know if you can see it, but like you can see, I see his handwriting, but it's not that hard. And I think he was in like 4th or 5th grade when he started doing that. So if you have a kid around or a husband who's willing to help, have them do that stuff if you're not a paperwork person, just saying. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Now my kids know how to organize the sales slips and the tax receipts. And if you do it a couple times a year, if you do it every month, it just makes it a lot easier than at the end of the year. Because I have done that. We had a couple years where life was kind of messy and I just had all the receipts and they had to go through them all. It works. It's just not that exciting. It's easier to just keep it up each month because it only takes like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And with the kids doing it, or if you have a neighbor kid or a niece or a nephew or something, it gives them skills. Like my kids are going to have no problem knowing how to do taxes and stuff when they're older, because they like get it. They have to do it every year for me. There's incentive, but it's teaching them those skills. So obviously husbands can just do that because they love you. I think that's all I'm going to go over today, but just keeping your tax paperwork organized, keeping your sales slips organized, and your sales organized and logged and current, and then getting your customers into your customer groups and your Facebook groups, and maybe getting that email out to them. Email is still a really great communication tool, and so I hope that you don't let that fall by the wayside. But hopefully this is helpful, and I'll post the business tracking register along with this, and happy organizing. Okay, bye you guys.